We're actually going to start today by reclining on our back. So come all the way down onto your back. Should feel really good. And straighten out through your legs. Rest your head down. Have your feet wider than your hips. And take your arms overhead. Have your hands just slightly wider than your shoulders. And then stretch through your arms and your legs, your fingers and your toes, as if you're a piece of taffy and someone's pulling you in two directions. Reach and stretch and tense your muscles and extend and take a deep breath in through your nose. And then as you exhale, let your weight drop and release that effort. And just do that again. Inhale, reach and stretch and tense and extend. Then exhale, let it all go. Once more on your own, follow your breath. And now just allow your body to rest here. You might adjust a little bit so that you can kind of melt into a puddle on the floor. You might be more comfortable with your arms at your sides or your hands on your torso. It's almost like we're starting with a little mini shavasana. We won't stay here for too long. Just allow yourself to breathe in and out through your nose. Direct your breath in through your nose and all the way down into your low belly. Feel it expand. And exhale through your nose. Feel your belly deflate. Sometimes it can be helpful to place one hand or both on your belly to feel that. So inhaling through the nose, belly expands. And exhale through the nose, belly relaxes and deflates. Good. And from here, start to bend your knees and set your feet to the floor. And then hug your knees in towards your chest and rock a little side to side to stretch out through your lower back. As you rock, you might even notice it's kind of like the floor massages your back as you rock side to side. And now slow your rocking and extend your legs long, toes towards the sky. Take your arms overhead. So you're in an L shape. And take an inhale, stretch through your fingers and your toes. And as you exhale, hug your knees to your chest, lift your shoulders, tuck your chin to your chest, engage through your core. We'll just move with the breath. So inhale, extend back into that L shape. Then exhale, hug in. Once more on your own, follow your breath. Inhale, reach. And exhale, pull it in. This time, as you hug your knees in, take another inhale, stay here. Exhale, stay. One more inhale. And then release, lower your head down. Hug just your right knee into your chest, straighten your left leg long. Flex through your left foot, reach through your heel, inhale deeply. And exhale, hug your right knee towards your right shoulder. And now extend your right leg skywards, interlace your hands behind your right thigh. It's okay if your knee's a little bent. And just point and flex through your right ankle, maybe circle it out. So we're creating a little bit more space in the joints of the body. Now that might be plenty of a stretch, or you could start to walk your hands up your right leg. Remember, it's early on in the practice, so less is more at this point. Our bodies aren't quite warmed up. So even if you could like force your hands higher, you don't necessarily have to. Take one more inhale. Good. As you exhale, let's bend your left knee, set your foot to the floor. And now bend your right knee towards your right armpit for half happy baby. Take your right hand to the outer edge of your right foot. I like to place my left hand on my hip to remind it to anchor down. That might be plenty of a stretch. For more sensation, straighten your left leg. Same thing, flex your foot, reach through your heel. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. Or your mouth. At any time you want to let out a sigh, feel free. And now hug your right knee into your chest, straighten your left leg. If it's not, we'll set up for a twist. Take your right arm to the side. You can cactus your arm or straight arm, depending on space limitations. And now twist. Guide your right knee across your body over to the left. If your knee doesn't touch and you have one of those pillows or blankets or cushions I've been encouraging you to use, you can rest your knee on that. For more sensation, you could take your left hand to your outer right foot and move towards straightening your right leg. And then look to the right to add a stretch of your neck. If that creates tension, just look up instead. And now shift your attention back to your breath and deepen it. And complete your exhale. Come back onto your back, hug your knees into your chest, and same thing, rock a little side to side. If you're getting kind of antsy and you want a little more movement, hold your thighs and rock forward and back, just to build a little more heat. Good. And then slow that down. Hug your left knee in now and straighten your right leg long. Flex through your right foot, reach through your heel. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, hug your left knee towards your left shoulder. And now straighten your left leg, interlace your hands behind your thigh. Remember, it's okay if your knee's bent. Point and flex through your left foot, maybe even circle out through your ankle. Just move in a way that feels good. I don't know about you all, but when I circle my ankle, I get so many snaps and crackles and pops in a good way, creating, again, space in the joints. You could walk your hands up your leg or just keep it spacious for now, since that is our intention. Sometimes we'll go deeper in a pose and then we're forced to like hold our breath or breathe less deeply, or it almost creates more tension if you overstretch. So just be aware of that. And now bend your right knee, set your foot to the floor. Bend your left knee out to the side, half happy baby pose. Take left hand to the outer edge of your foot. If that doesn't quite catch, you can hold your outer shin or ankle, whatever you've got. But we're kind of going for this external rotation. You should feel it in your left inner thigh or your left hamstring, depending on where you're tighter, maybe your glutes. And same thing, if you have this space, you can re-straighten your right leg. Right hand can rest on the right hip to remind it to anchor down. Complete your exhale. And then hug your left knee into your chest. Set up for the twist. Straighten your right leg if it's not. Take your left arm to the side. And then guide your left knee across your body. You could rest it on a pillow, or for more sensation, take your right hand to your outer left foot and then straighten your left leg over to the side. Look to the left if that's okay for your neck. And if not, just look up. Complete your exhale and return to your back. Hug your knees to your chest, rock side to side. And now hold the backs of your thighs, start to rock forward and back. We're gonna transition to hands and knees. So you can cross your ankles or take your feet to one side and step back to hands and knees. Just come into child's pose, touch your big toes together, widen your knees, rest hips to heels, forehead down, and stack one hand on top of the other. Rest your forehead on your hands and just notice how that allows your shoulders to relax a little bit more. Let your hips get heavy, your shoulders release. Deepen your breath. And complete your exhale. And then help transition forward to hands and knees. Stack knees under your hips, wrists under your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Roll your shoulders back and look forward. Lift your gaze, lift your tailbone. And take an inhale. And as you exhale, reach your hips back towards your heels. Child's pose. Keep your gaze forward this time. And now reverse, drop your tailbone, drop your head, roll forward, stack shoulders over your wrists. We're gonna wave through the spine. Then lift your gaze, lift your tailbone, glide back, child's pose. Exhale. Inhale, round forward into cat. And exhale to glide back. Inhale, round forward, cat pose. Tuck your toes, press back, downward facing dog. We'll do the same thing in downward dog. So lift your heels, inhale, round forward, rounded high plank. And exhale, glide back, down dog. Again, inhale, round forward. And exhale, back. Once more. This time, as you land in downward dog, look at your hands. Spread your fingers, plug into each fingertip and knuckle. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and send your hips up and back. Imagine that you're creating space between each vertebrae along your spine as your hands root and your hips float upwards. And now keep that sense of spaciousness option to begin to lower your heels down towards the mat. Inhale deeply and exhale fully. Look to the top of your mat, walk your feet forward, come into a forward fold. Land with your feet hips distant, soften your knees. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to your shins. Exhale, fold. Drop your head, relax your neck. Again, inhale, lengthen. Hands to shins or fingertips to the floor. Exhale, fold. Once more, follow your breath. Good. And now soften your knees. Inhale, rise to stand with a flat back. Lift your arms at the top. And exhale, lower your hands through the center, either pausing, hands at your heart or arms at your sides, mountain pose. Take a breath. Let your weight drop down into your feet. And at the same time, lift up through the top of your head. And now look at your feet for a moment. Lift and spread your toes. And then set down your pinky toe and then one toe at a time. So your toes are spread out like starfish. Or another thing you can picture is your feet are like the roots of a tree, and your toes are those tiny little tendril roots anchoring you down. So complete your exhale. As you inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, fold forward, soften your knees to free up your lower back. Release your hands. Drop your head. Inhale, lift part way. And as you exhale, step your right foot back, come into a lunge. Set your back knee down. And inhale, lift your arms, low lunge. Good. As you exhale, take your arms out to the sides and just slowly lower them down. Let your elbows be soft, your palms receptive. And then sweep your hands forward and up. Inhale. Exhale as your arms open to the sides. Once more, follow your breath. Good. Release your hands down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee, and straighten your front leg-ish. Pyramid pose variation. Glide your left hip back. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold. Again, inhale to lengthen. Plug into your fingertips, round into your back. And with either straight left leg or bend your knee if you need to, step back, downward facing dog. As you inhale, round forward into plank pose. Knees down or straight legs, chaturanga. Slow lower to your belly. Inhale into cobra. This first back bend. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes. Press back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, lift your right leg. And breathe some space into your right leg, your hip joint. You're welcome to circle out your hip, moving your knee. You could circle your ankle. You could get a little more free form if you'd like. Or maybe the thing that would help you feel spacious is stillness. That is always welcome. So take one more inhale. And as you exhale, look forward, step forward, lunge. Set your left knee down. And inhale, lift your arms, low lunge. Good. Take your arms out to the sides, soft elbows, receptive palms. Release your hands. And inhale, sweep your hands forward and up. And exhale, open. Once more, follow your breath. And release your hands to frame your front foot, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and straighten your front leg a little or a lot, pyramid pose. So make sure you're not on a tightrope because we want to square your hips here. Now glide your right hip back, take an inhale, lift part way, and exhale, fold. Again, inhale, lift part way. Look forward, start to walk your hands forward, float your left leg up. Supported warrior three. Flex through your foot, square your hips, reach your left heel back and your sternum forward. And take an inhale. Exhale, slow lower your foot to the top of your mat and fold. Drop your head. Inhale, come up with a flat back. And exhale, mountain pose. So we're going to flow through that on the other side. Release your hands. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale to lengthen. Step left foot back. Low lunge. Set your back knee down. Inhale, lift your arms. Use your arms down to the sides as you breathe out. Forward and up. Just one cycle this time. Exhale, release your arms down. Frame your front foot. Straighten your front leg. Pyramid pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, lengthen. Tent onto your fingertips. Round into your back. And with a straight right leg, or bend your knee if you need to, step back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, round forward, plank pose. And exhale, lower. Inhale, either cobra or upward dog. Lift your thighs, curl back. And exhale, back, downward dog. And take a breath. Enjoy the pause. And then take an inhale, lift your left leg. And breathe some spaciousness into your left leg. You can move around. Enjoy stillness if you prefer. Oops. My mat used to be sticky and now it's kind of slippery because my routine is to like moisturize before yoga, and it gets a little dangerous on here. Take an inhale and exhale, step forward, lunge. Set your back knee down, inhale, lift your arms. And exhale, take your arms to the sides. Just one circle through the arms, inhale, lift. Exhale, release your arms all the way down, frame your front foot. Tuck back toes, lift your knee, pyramid, straighten your left leg. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, fold. And walk your hands forward, float your right leg up. Supported warrior 3, flex through your foot. Your right foot, reach through your heel. As you extend your sternum forward, take an inhale. And exhale, slow lower your foot to the top of your mat. And fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, mountain pose. Good, release your arms at your sides. Circle your shoulders out. So forward, up, and down onto your back. And I'll try this. Take an inhale, hug your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you exhale, let your shoulders fall onto your back. And try that once more. Inhale, shrug. And exhale, drop. Good. Take one more breath in steadiness. And on your next inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. And now bend your knees, come all the way down onto your back. We're going to come back to some of those hamstring stretches, but add a little bit of core work to them. So hug your right knee in. Straighten your left leg long, but this time keep your left foot hovering. You might have to lift it a little higher. That's okay. Straighten your right leg, interlace your hands behind your right thigh. This time you can walk your hands up your leg, lift your shoulders, stretch out through all 10 toes. And now stay here with your hand holding your leg or reach your fingertips forward. And breathe. You'll take your hands back to your right leg. If they're not, take one more inhale. And as you exhale, lower your left heel, lower your shoulders, and stretch. See if you can get your shoulders to the mat. If not, walk your hands down your leg a little lower. Good. This time, either half happy baby, bend your right knee towards your right armpit, or extended big toe pose. Take your right peace fingers around your right big toe and take your right leg out to the side. Hopefully you don't have any obstacles in the way. Right leg out to the side, left arm to the side, gaze to the left. Good. And now hug your right knee into your chest. We'll set up for that twist. Take your knee to the side or left hand to outer edge of your foot, straighten your right leg. Take your right arm to the side, look to the right. Complete your exhale. And return to your back. Hug your knees to your chest. Okay, hug your left knee in. Extend your right leg out in front of you, but keep your leg lifted. Again, it could be a little higher. Straighten your left leg and release your hands behind your thigh. Now lift your shoulders with the option to walk your hands up your left leg even higher. Press your middle back into the floor. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Another breath here. Good. One more inhale. And as you exhale, lower your right heel, lower your shoulders, take your left leg with you. And again, feel free to walk your hands down your leg as needed. Find a place where your shoulders rest on the floor. Good. And now either half happy baby, take hold of your left foot with your hand, bend your knee, or extend a big toe pose. Take your left peace fingers, wrap them around your big toe, and take your left leg out to the side. Right arm to the side, look to the right. Good. Now bend your left knee, hug it in towards your chest. Either that bent knee twist, taking your knee across, or take your right hand to the outer edge of your foot as you straighten your left leg to the side, left arm to the side, look to the left. Complete your exhale and return to your back. Hug your knees in. You'd extend both legs long and release your hands behind your head. Take an inhale, lift your tailbone. Exhale, lift your shoulders. Inhale, lift both. Exhale, stay. Inhale here. And exhale, lower everything down. Adding on to that, inhale, lift your tailbone. Exhale, lift your shoulders. Inhale, lift both. And now twist, take your right arm across your left thigh. Option to lower your right leg to hover, reach and stretch through your toes. Inhale, return your right leg up, right hand ahead, lower your shoulders down. Other side, inhale, lift your tailbone. Exhale, lift your shoulders. Inhale, lift both. And now twist, left arm reaches across, option to lower your left leg to hover. Inhale here. Exhale, stay. Inhale, return, left leg high, left hand ahead, lower your shoulders down. Good. Take your arms overhead. Actually, reach your fingertips skywards, separate your feet, and just circle out through your fingers and your toes a little bit. And your wrists and your ankles. Good. Hold the backs of your thighs, start to rock forward and back along your spine. Cross your ankles and come into hands and knees. Wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Circle your shoulders out. So soften your elbows. And just like we did standing, pull your shoulders towards your ears and then glide them onto your back. One more time. From here, turn your fingertips out to the side so your wrist creases face one another. Keep your fingers spread wide and just shift a little side to side. So opening up into the wrists. This could be plenty. For more sensation, turn your fingertips to face your knees. And you can shift forward and back a little bit for more sensation. It's okay if your wrists lift up. Good. And then turn your fingertips to face forward. Keep your right hand how it is and come onto the top of your left hand, fingertips face your knees. So we do this one only one hand at a time because the fronts of the wrists are, I guess the backs of the wrists are pretty sensitive. So keep rooting into your right hand. For more sensation, you can again start to shift your weight back, stretching through the back of your left wrist. And then plant your left hand. Reverse, lower your right hand, top of the right hand. Root down into your left hand to stabilize with the option to shift your weight back. Good. And then return your right hand down. Tuck your toes, sit back on your heels, stretch out through the soles of your feet. Interlace your hands and press your palms out in front of you. And now extend your arms skywards. Drop your tailbone down as you reach up through your palms and lengthen through the sides of your waist. Feel free to wriggle side to side. And then release your arms down at your sides and release your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders back. Feel free to untuck your toes if it starts to get to be too much in the soles of the feet. Good. Take your fists to your left side waist, or your right side waist, sorry. Glide your right elbow back. You should feel a stretch in your left shoulder. For more sensation, drop right ear to right shoulder. Complete your exhale. Straighten your arms. Change the interlace of your hands. Inhale. And then take your fist to your left side waist. Glide your left elbow back. For more sensation, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Good. Complete your exhale. Straighten your arms. Inhale. And exhale, take your hands out in front of you. Untuck your toes and just smack out the tops of your feet. And then tuck your toes. Find your way to downward facing dog. Take a few breaths to move and breathe in your downward dog. Good. From downward dog, take an inhale. Lift your right leg. This time, press through your hands. Stretch through your toes. And as you exhale, pull your knee towards your nose. Step forward, lunge. Inhale, look forward, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, straighten your right leg-ish, pyramid. Tent onto your left fingertips to stabilize. We'll come into revolved pyramid. Sweep your right arm high. If that's too much with a straight leg, just have your right knee bent instead. And take an inhale. Exhale, lower your right hand down. Spin your left heel down, triangle pose. Extend your left arm high. You can walk your right hand up to your shin for more space. Or keep your fingertips on the floor. Keep a micro bend of your right knee. Press firmly into your feet, all four corners of your feet. As you stretch your arms long, option to look up at your left fingertips. And take an inhale. Exhale, lower your left hand down, pop your left heel up. Walk your hands forward, float your left leg up. Supported warrior 3 or standing split, send your left leg even higher this time. Okay, so root down into your right foot, bend your right knee, and we're gonna pendulum swing all the way up to standing balance. Pull your left knee in towards your chest and come up to stand. So you can interlace your hands behind your thigh or your shin. Stand tall. Good. From here, take your right hand to your right hip, left hand to your inner knee, and guide your left knee out to the side. Good. We'll reverse, guide your left knee forward, take left hand to left hip, right hand outside of your knee, twist to the side. Option to extend your left arm back behind you. So really similar shapes to what we were doing on our backs earlier. Good, come back through the center, lift your arms, lift your left even higher. Option to straighten your left leg. And now pendulum swing, warrior 3. Extend your left leg back. You can lower your hands for more support or reach your hands forward for more of a challenge. In between would be hands to your hips. Good, stretch through your left toes, softly land in a lunge. Inhale deeply. Then exhale, lower your hands, lower your back knee, and straighten your right leg, half splits. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale to fold. So we've been working a lot on the hamstrings today. If you're feeling like you have a little more space, you can start to slide your right heel forward as you glide your right hip back. Kind of like two things happening at once. Just feeling it out. Take an inhale. And exhale might take you a little deeper into the pose. Start to come back into a lunge. Place your hands inside of your right foot. Tuck your left toes to create a little stability and turn your right toes out at about a 45-degree angle. Lizard lunge, you can stay high or maybe lower down to your forearms. If you're feeling more fiery today, you could tuck your back toes and lift your back knee, building some strength and some heat in the pose. If you're feeling more mellow, allow your left knee to rest. And start to come out of the pose by pressing into your hands. Reframe your right foot with your hands. And step back, plank pose. Bring your feet together. Walk your right hand forward about an inch or so. Turn your fingertips to the right slightly for side plank. Spin your heels to the right as you pick up your left arm. For more sensation, you could bend your left knee, place your foot to the floor in front of you. You want your right wrist slightly in front of your shoulder, so you're not compressing in your wrist or your shoulder joints. For more of a challenge, you could send your left knee high. Tree pose in side plank. And take an inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Feel free to rest in child's pose or flow with me. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. So we'll meet in downward dog for the other side. Take an inhale, lift your left leg. Press into your hands, reach your left leg long, stretch through your toes. And exhale, pull knee to nose, look forward, step forward, lunge. So inhale, look forward, reach through your back heel. And as you exhale, straighten your left leg-ish, pyramid variation. Glide your left hip back, tent to your right fingertips, and now twist left arm high. And just like on the other side, you could always have your left knee generously bent if it feels contracted or tight or uncomfortable to be with a straight leg. Option to look up at your left fingertips. Take an inhale. And exhale, lower your left hand down, triangle pose, spin your right heel down. Pick up your right arm. And remember, you can walk your left hand up your leg as much as you need to. Press down into all four corners of your feet. Stretch your legs long and reach out through your fingertips. Option to look up at your right hand. And take an inhale. Exhale, lower your right hand down, pop your right heel up, and spring forward, either supported warrior 3 or standing split. Send your right leg even higher as you reach your chest towards your left thigh. Get ready for that big pendulum swing up to standing balance. Bend your left leg, your standing leg, look forward, and start to bend your right knee. Come up to standing, hug your right knee to your chest, either holding your thigh or your shin. If you're wobbling, that's okay. You're human, it happens. See if you can find a steady focus for your eyes. Sometimes that helps. And now take your left hand to your left hip, right hand inside of your knee. Take your knee out to the side. Reverse. Guide your right knee forward, right hand to hip, left hand outside of your knee, twist to the right. Option to extend your right leg back or your right arm back. We'll get there. Getting ahead of myself. Come back through the center. Oops, see, sometimes you lose it. Lift both arms. Option to straighten your right leg. And now pendulum warrior 3. Right leg back. Your hands can come to the floor for support. Hands can be on your hips or arms forward for more of a challenge. And then softly land, lunge. Woo. Left foot's getting tired. Take an inhale. And exhale, lower your back knee down. Now it's time to rest the left leg, counter pose. Frame your left foot with your hands. Straighten your left leg, half splits. And just pause here, feel it out on this side. You might have a green light to go a little further. Sliding left heel forward, left hip back. This is often my tighter side. So just knowing that it's okay, you don't have to do the exact same pose on each side. Inhale deeply. And the exhale might take you a little bit deeper. One more breath. And then start to come out. Then bend your left knee. Place your hands inside of your left foot. Tuck your back toes, your right toes, and turn your left toes out at a diagonal. 45 degrees-ish. You could come down to your forearms. You could tuck your toes, lift your back knee. And breathe deeply wherever you are in the pose. Start to come back into your lunge. Plant your hands, frame your left foot. Step back, plank pose. Bring your feet together. Walk your left hand forward an inch or so. Turn your fingertips to the left slightly. Side plank. Spin your heels to the left. Pick up your right arm. Remember, for more support, you can have your right knee bent, right foot planted. For more of a challenge, pick up your right knee, tree pose in side plank. Take one more inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. And flow with me or enjoy a rest. You can inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's meet in downward dog and then begin to walk your feet forward towards the top of your mat. Take your feet wider than your hips and parallel. Place your right hand under your gaze. Bend your right knee, sweep your left arm up. Open twist with the option to reach behind you to bind. Left hand to opposite thigh. Turning your torso to the left. And release, change sides. Place left hand under left gaze, or under your gaze. Bend your left knee, reach your right arm high. Option to reach behind you towards that bind. You could also bring your right hand to your hips, kind of in between, or all the way around to clasp your left thigh. Release, let that go. Drop your head, take a ragdoll, bend your knees, hold opposite elbow, sway a little side to side. Traction your spine. Good. Release your hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, lift your right leg, bend your knee, open your hip. And exhale, step forward, low lunge. Set your back knee down. Inhale, lift your arms. Bend your right elbow and reach behind your back, and then hold the top of your elbow with your left hand. Pull your hips back a little bit to stabilize. So you should be getting a nice stretch through your right tricep. For more of a sensation, actually, not necessarily, but to deepen the pose, you could take your left arm to the side, turn your thumb down, and bend your elbow. Try to turn a little. You might be able to reach your fingertips towards one another to clasp your arms or clasp your hands. And then you could start to sink your hips and curl back into the support of your hands and more of a back bend. Take an inhale. And exhale, slow release. Frame your right foot with your hand, straighten your right leg. We're going to come back into half splits or full splits for 3/4 splits, whatever you need. You might come a little further this time, or sometimes this happens where the body is like, okay, I've had enough, and you might not get quite as far the second time. So just kind of listen, feel, breathe, and come back into a lunge. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, place your hands inside of your front foot. Turn to the long side of your mat for a side lunge. So right knee is bent, left leg is straight, stay high, or you could drop your hips down, connect your palms, or even move towards the bind. Sweep your right arm in front of your shin, left arm high. Inner spiral your arms, bend your elbows, reach back to clasp. Left hand or wrist. And then release. Plant your hands, pick up your hips, and just do a quick counter pose on the other side. Walk your hands to the left, side lunge, stay high, or drop your hips down. I'm not going to bind on this side, we'll hit it on the other sequence, other side of the sequence. And then look forward. Walk your hands to the front of your mat and step back. Downward facing dog. Take a flow or take a rest depending on what you need. Side 2. Take an inhale, lift your left leg, bend your knee, open your hip. And exhale, step forward, low lunge. Set your back knee down, lift your arms. Bend your left elbow, reach behind your back, and hold the top of your elbow with your right hand. You can slide your left hand down your back as you send your elbow high and gently press the back of your head into your hand. And then back your hips up a little, feel your core engage. Tailbone drops, low belly draws in. Stabilize. Option to move towards the bind. Take your right arm to the side, thumb down, bend your elbow, reach back to clasp. And at this point, you might start to sink into your hips and curl back into more of a back bend, supported by, chest is supported by your hands. And on your next exhale, let that release. Frame your left foot, straighten your left leg, half splits. And pause, feel, and decide if you're going to deepen your split. And then come out, back into a lunge. Place your hands inside of your left foot, tuck your back toes, lift your knee, turn to the long side of your mat. Side lunge, left knee is bent, right leg is straight. Option to drop your hips. And move towards the bind, left arm in front of your shin, plant your hands, sweep your right arm high. And then inner spiral your arms, bend your elbows, reach back to clasp right hand or wrist. And release. Plant your hands, same pose, other side. Lift your hips, bend your right knee, straighten your left leg. Just a brief counter pose. Look to the top of your mat. Walk your hands forward, lunge, and step back. Downward facing dog. And lower your knees down, sit back on your heels. Circle your shoulders out. And now press your palms out in front of you. Make fists with your hands and just circle out through your wrists. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears and change direction, circle the other way. And just shake out your hands a little bit. Good. From here, we'll do a little more to get into the shoulders. Take your right arm across your body and hook your left arm under. Glide your right shoulder blade onto your back. And breathe here. And so we're going to take that into tricep stretch again. Pick your right arm up, hold the top of your elbow, reach behind your back. The same, but a little different. If you want to add to it this time, take your right hand to hold your left arm and take your left arm and straighten it out to the side. So gravity's, the weight of your left arm is opening up your right tricep and shoulder. And then let your left hand release by your hip. Take your right arm over your ear, roll your right shoulder back, lean back. And exhale, drop your right shoulder, stretch into your upper back. And then come up. Circle your shoulders out. Do that little sequence on the other side. Take your left arm across your body. Hook your right elbow under. Let your left shoulder fall away from your ear as you glide your left arm over to the right. And breathe. And left tricep stretch. Take your left arm overhead, hold your elbow, reach your left hand behind your back. Send your elbow high, press your head into the back of your arm. And then for more sensation, if you can wriggle your left fingertips to hold your right arm, and then straighten your right arm to the side. Gravity opens up. The weight of the right arm opens up the left tricep. And then release right hand down by your hip, left arm over your ear. Look under your left arm, take an inhale. And exhale, reverse, drop your left shoulder, stretch through your upper back, reach through your left fingertips. And then come all the way up to seated. Circle out through your shoulders. And now come to hands and knees. Your legs might have fallen asleep, so extend your right leg long, tuck your toes, and just shift your weight forward and back, stretching out through your calf, your hamstring. And lower your right knee, and tuck your left toes, shift your weight forward and back. Good. And either cross your ankles or take your feet to one side, take your legs out in front of you. Shake them out a little bit. Turn to the long side of your mat and take your legs into a V shape. Upavishta Konasana, wide angle pose. Take your hands behind you, tent to your fingertips to lift up through your sternum, press your thighs down. It's okay if your knees are bent here. For more sensation, walk your hands out in front of you, maybe even coming down onto your forearms or all the way. Complete your exhale. And as you inhale, come up. Take your hands to the outside of your knees to bend them and come into an easy seat. If you'd like to elevate your hips, feel free. Or just lean forward, rock side to side to make some space. We're going to come into a breathing practice today called alternate nostril breathing. So basically, we're going to be using our hands to plug our nose, breathe in through one side, out the other, in through that same side, out the other, back and forth, okay? This is a time of year when people get sometimes congested because of allergies or colds. So if your nose is congested or you have a deviated septum, which I actually do, but if it doesn't work for you, just breathe naturally. And you can even visualize your breath moving through your nostrils without using your hands. So anyways, best thing is to try it. So adjust your seat, wriggle a little more length into your spine, and rest your left hand on your left thigh and pick up your right hand. And you're going to take your middle three fingers to your palm. So it's just like hang loose symbol. Your pinky and your thumb are extended. You're going to rest those on your nostrils. Exhale completely. Inhale completely. And exhale. Close your right nostril with your thumb and inhale through the left. Close the left. Release the right. Exhale. Inhale through the right. Close right. Release left. Exhale. Inhale left. Close left. Release right. Exhale. Inhale right. Close right. Release left. Exhale. Continue on your own. Breathing in through one side and exhaling through the opposite side. Breathing in through that same side and exhaling through the opposite side. Continuing like that, this breath practice helps with focus, it helps to clear your mind, it helps to lengthen your breath. It balances out the activity between the right and left hemispheres of the brain. The left hemisphere is the active, doing side of the brain. The right hemisphere is the receptive, creative side of the brain. And we'll complete this cycle with a breath out through the left side. And once you complete that, release both hands down and return to your natural breath. these last few minutes of rest, you are welcome to remain in a seated meditation or take your time as you transition to rest on your back. As you find your resting pose, just notice where your body makes contact with the floor or the earth if you're outside, and receive that support beneath you. Notice the parts of your body exposed to the air around you, and soften into that spaciousness. Allow your breath to flow freely. Let your belly soften, your shoulders relax, whole body resting, releasing, rejuvenating. And please begin again to deepen your breath. Start to bring some movement back into your body. Slowly stretching and waking up. If you're resting on your back, take your time as you roll to one side and eventually come up to your seat. And once you establish your seat, you can rest your hands on your thighs or join me in connecting your palms together in front of your heart. And if there was any part of this practice that helped you feel a little more spacious, a little more of a sense of ease in your body, in your mind, in your heart, know that you can return to that part of the practice at any time in your day, in your week that you need to. It doesn't have to be a 90-minute commitment. It can just be a little stretch or a little breath. And to close this, let's bring chin to chest and head to heart. And as you're ready, lift your gaze, open your eyes, shift your attention back out into your day.